Hello and welcome into another edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hicks and I'm your lead beat writer for the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI. And it is a wonderful Wednesday morning to be a fan of the Arizona State athletic apparatus as a whole. The Arizona State men's basketball program secured a monumental season-defining 72 to 67 win over the Texas Tech Red Raiders on Tuesday night in a very late night contest. I believe the game finished at about 11:20, and it was an extremely eventful night. We will get to that shortly, but before that, Arizona State women's basketball is playing Wednesday night in a consequential game against Iowa State. A win will likely push them onto the right side of the bubble in a decisive fashion. We shall see what actually comes of it, but they are in good position to be in position right now, for lack of better terms. Um, yeah, let's dive right into the men's basketball contest and talk about what went right for Arizona State and what the rest of the season looks like for them. So, first off, I just want to give my thoughts and prayers to Texas Tech's JT Toppin. It was a very unfortunate injury that was suffered by the star forward. He's one of the best players in the Big 12, one of the best players in the country, and that knee injury did not look good. I'm not going to say what it is definitively until there's more reports out, but it certainly didn't look good. And um, I hope that all is well. You never want to see that in any sort of basketball action, and it's a tough thing to talk about. It really is. Um, but let's get into the game itself and what Arizona State is set to face moving into the last 5 games of the regular season. So, just as a quick recap for what went right with Arizona State in this game. This is arguably the best defensive performance that Arizona State has put together this entire season. Just every player that played in this game, um, it was an eight-man rotation. Trevor Best got into action for the first time in a while. Everybody that got minutes in this game really made a huge impact. I mean, even look at Alan Mukeba. He only scored 1 point in this game, which I thought he was in line to really put out more. He was a plus 11. Trevor Best was a -8. Masamba Diop was a -1. Santiago Truitt was a -7, but I don't think those really are indicative of how impactful they were. Yeah, I mean Trevor Best, yeah, he missed two threes, but he was really playing aggressive defense. He grabbed an offensive rebound. That it was just a general team effort. Noah Mayusin grabbed 4 rebounds, dished out 6 assists, got a block and a steal apiece, knocked down 2 3-pointers. Uh, Santiago Truitt made a key 3-pointer in the corner. He grabbed 6 rebounds, including 3 offensive boards, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Basamba Diop, 2 blocks, 2 steals. Pig Johnson, 2 steals. He was attacking the rim without abandon, like I said he needed to do in this game. He only got 3 free throw attempts, but he was finishing with expedience in this game. Uh, and obviously, Mo Odom, 23 points, a masterful performance once again. Uh, it was just phenomenal. They did struggle a little bit offensively in this last 5 minutes or so of the game. But for the most part, the offense looked crisp against a very good Texas Tech defense. This was the best the defense has looked all season, I'd argue. There were a few minutes in the first half where they really lapsed. I mean, Christian Anderson, 4 3-point hits, Donovan Atwell, 4 3-point hits. But outside of that, Texas Tech was not effective from behind the arc outside those two players. They turned the ball over 17 times. Anderson turned the ball over 7 times. They really had trouble with Arizona State's defensive pressure, both in the half court and the full court. Arizona State's rotations were crisp. The communication was on point, and the Sun Devils really had a plan of attack. Like Bobby Hurley said, they had more time to prepare for Texas Tech than Texas Tech had to prepare for them. And I think that that was the ultimate result. Now let's look into what this means for Arizona State heading into the final 5 games of the regular season. So right now, I still say that ASU is on the outside looking in as far as an NCAA tournament berth is concerned. I mean, at this point, I think it's fair to label them as a long shot still. And I think they're unlikely to earn the automatic bid, but if this is to be believed, team rankings has Arizona State as a real threat to make the tournament for the first time in 3 seasons. I believe in according to their model that the Sun Devils will need to win 18 games to have what would roughly be a 50-50 shot. I believe it would be 54% chance to make it to the tournament. And if they get 19 wins, they'll be a virtual lock. So right now they stand 14 and 12. I think is the chances that they win out the rest of the regular season are very, very slim. If they were able to take down the two Texas teams, Utah, Kansas, and Iowa State, they would be 19 and 12 heading to the Big 12 tournament on a 7 game winning streak. They'd have a winning record in league play. It would be very, very hard to leave them out as an at-large team, regardless of what they do in the Big 12 tournament. That's the first scenario. The second scenario is I think this is the most likely path they have to get to the tournament, that benchmark of 19 wins. It's to win the next 3 games against Baylor, TCU, and Utah. I don't know how likely it is they take down either Kansas or Iowa State. We shall see what happens there, but let's just assume they drop both of those games. They'd be going into the Big 12 tournament with a 17 and 14 record. If they win one Big 12 tournament game, they'll be a roughly 50-50 shot, as uh, I mentioned on the predictive model from team rankings. If they win two Big 12 tournament games, they would be a virtual shoe-in. So that's why the next 3 games are so crucial. If they go into Texas, beat Baylor, TCU, and then they beat Utah at home, that's a real that not only sets them up to get to 19 wins, it also boosts their standing in the Big 12. I believe that if they win those 3 games, they'd be back up to 500 in Big 12 play. That would give them a real chance to earn if not a first round bye, uh, would give them a real chance to earn a favorable matchup in the first round of the Big 12 tournament. So stay tuned for what Arizona State does over the next 5 games, final 5 games of the season. If they take care of business against Baylor, TCU, and Utah, they would have an 8-8 conference record, and there's a real chance they could creep up into the top half of the league standings. This is a moment where beating a team like UCF would have been monumental. I think that looking back on the season once it's over, West Virginia is a what could have been, UCF is a what could have been, and Oregon State is a what could have been. If they had won those 3 games, they'd be 17 and 9 right now with a 7 and 6 record in the Big 12, and they'd be in the top half of the Big 12 standings. that's where the Big 12 becomes a conference of margins. And ultimately, they didn't get the job done in those games, but they were within striking distance, and that just shows the potential that this team has under Coach Bobby Hurley. That is really all I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the Sun Devils Insider Podcast, and I will see you with another episode tomorrow. Thank you so much.